Professor Ho. Can you hear me? Yeah. Wow, thank you. A very good morning to you, friends. Today, as you can see, I'm going to talk about education, focusing on e-learning. You notice the important word here, engagement, and that's how I'm going to also focus my talk on. Now, I'd like to begin the talk by reading the quote from a very good friend of mine, who's none other than the Vice Chancellor of this university, Chancellor Professor Gadiraj Dhanarajan. And he said, many individuals in our societies, regardless of the extent of prior learning, are perfectly capable of self-directed learning. Notice the word self-directed learning. His only instructions is designed sensitively and sensibly, respecting the learners and supporting him or her in the learning. So, what it tells us is that all of us actually can learn in our various capacities and in an effective manner, provided, of course, the material is designed in the right way and it conforms to our needs and expectations. Now, learning, I think we're all familiar with this very standard so-called learning curve. Usually, if we are approaching a new subject, we would therefore, I imagine we are in this place, right at the bottom of the curve, a novice. What would a novice expect or need in this context? Most probably, as a novice, they will tell the instructor or the teacher or a lecturer, whoever that may be, show me how. In that context, therefore, what he or she, this person, requires is training. Then, with training and so on, he or she moves upscale to the point where he or she will begin to ask, help me do it better. And what does that imply? Practice, coaching. And this goes on until the person becomes an experienced one, and the question at that point will be, help me find what I need. I know the basics. I want to know more. Tell me where to find the newer information. And for that, of course, we have to tell the person where to access knowledge, and as well as performance resources. In other words, any help that would improve or enhance his performance or her performance. Of course, right at the peak, the person has become a sort of an expert in his field, and at that point he'll say, all right, I think I know quite a lot now. Maybe I should therefore create my own learning, and in the process share it with others as well. And this is where collaboration and problem solving comes into consideration. That's the learning curve. I think if we look at this curve and look at ourselves, we can place ourselves actually anywhere. Now, if you look at the system of education that we have here, it is pretty much like a conveyor belt kind. They all come in one cohort, and generally it's based on age. If you are 7 years old, okay, you go to standard 1 or whatever. Therefore, and you so forth, and so on and so forth. So, the time has come for us to look at the whole situation itself. Can we come up with a system that is flexible enough to allow individuals to pursue their respective interests, whether it's formal study or hobby learning, playing the piano, for example, or stuff, so that that person becomes an expert in the shortest possible time, or if not expert, at least becomes competent enough. Now, with that as backdrop, I'd like to continue my presentation this morning. Because I'm talking on e-learning, therefore I have to bring in technology. We actually went through from Web 1, which concerned mostly with search technology. I think many of us are familiar today. Google, for example, is a good example. Likewise, and so on. I just listed just 2 examples. Of course, right at this moment, we are in this stage, Web 2. Although the next stage, Web 3, is also in the near horizon, I would say. Now look at what Web 2 provides. It allows us to go into what is called a social constructivism. Web 1 was a stage where we could only read, mostly off-screen, the kind of information provided. But with Web 2, you can now actually participate. That's why the term social constructivism comes in. And to illustrate that, think of, for example, Wikipedia, Twitter, Facebook. Could I very quickly, by show of hands, how many of you have Facebook account? You see what I mean? How many of you Twitter? Here you are. So that's where we are at this point in time, Web 2. Web 3, of course, is about semantic search technology. It's a more advanced version of Web 2. We are beginning to see the appearance of applications and so on. For example, Appian and Senko. Those of you who want to look more can go into that. Okay, so that's how technology is helping us, at least in the area of education. Now, the Web 2 provision actually offers teachers and learners a huge amount of opportunities for e-learning. They are so great, and a new theory has slowly emerged. It's called the theory of connectivism, which basically can be summarized in this sentence here, which means in this physical world, knowledge exists in the world rather than in the head of the individual. Therefore, the knowledge is out there, everywhere, not in the head of your teacher. So for a learner who is able to take advantage of this, that person will be able to learn more or get educated faster. Alright, does our system allow for that at the moment? Think about it. And because of the power of ICT, there is a lot of attempt now to put courses and resources up onto the what I call the global e-learning mainstream. Simply because of the availability of Web 2 technology, which allows for activities like collaboration. This is all online, or internet-based. Collaboration, communication, creation. Later on, I'll talk about social media, which actually is playing a very important part. And of course, the 21st century education. E-learning, I will just quickly go over this so that everyone knows what it is about. It's about use of internet and computer-based technologies. Now, the e-learner, who are the e-learners today? I would say they would be digital natives of cyberspace, IT-savvy teenagers, IT-savvy adults, IT-savvy senior citizens. In other words, many of us, all of us, sitting in this hall. Likewise, the e-teacher, he's now playing a different role. He's no more considered as a stick in the box or the guru in the class. What he or she should be playing is actually as a guide on the side. He's a facilitator. He should guide you in your search for knowledge and skills. And this is right of my granddaughter actually. And she's in the habit of playing with a laptop, looking at surfing and so on. And that's why I label her as I'm a digital native. And of course, what we imagine her ABC would be something like this. Can anyone guess what G stands for? Great, wonderful. I see we have a lot of natives here.